Welcome to Maths with Steve. I'm Steve, and today we are starting to do our SATS revision course. Now, the SATS coming up quite soon, and I thought it might be a good idea to put some videos out there to help people who are getting ready for them, revising for the SATs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a range of questions. I'm going to try and put up as many videos as I can do between now and when the SATs happen, and go through some questions and help you with anything that you might find tricky. So the way that I'm going to do this is I've got 3 questions here that are from a SATS past paper. Okay, so I'm going to do them. I'm going to talk through how I do them. And then on the right hand side, I've got 3 very, very similar ones for you to have a go at. Okay, so let's jump into it. So we've got question 1. Something equals 6,000 plus 90. Now, all we need to do there is just be really, really careful the way that we line it up. And we'll go like this. 6,000 plus, so 90. Now the way that I do this to make sure that I line it up properly is I've got my 0 here and then the 9. So I start there and I go, the 0 goes under the 0 and the 9 goes under there. Great. And then I add them up. 0 add 0 is 0. 0 add 9 is 9. 0 add nothing is 0. And 6 add nothing is 6. So the answer is 6,090. Great, okay, let's go on to question 2. Question 2 is the same question, well, the same type of question, and we just need to line it up properly, and we'll have to do some carries. So let's do this now. So I've got 8,275. Now, obviously, when you're doing this on paper, you'll be able to write inside these squares, but mine are... It's quite small for me to do this, so I'm just trying to be as neat as I can. Okay, I'm going to start with the 2 and then over to the 8. So the 2 there under the 5 and then the 8 there. Okay. 5 add 2 is 7. 7 add 8. Okay, that's going to be 15. So the 5, the unit, goes here and the 1 gets carried over. Now, 1 add 2 is 3. And then 8 add nothing is 8. So the answer is 8,357. Okay, question 3. 826 equals 800 plus something plus 6. Now, there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can look at the place value, or you can do it the longer way around. So I'm going to do the place value way first. I'm going to say, right, okay, if I look at this and I go 826, okay, well here I've got 800. So the 800 is this 8 here. And I've got the 6 there, which is this 6 here. So the bit that I'm missing out here is this section here, which is 20, isn't it? So therefore the answer is 20. Now, that works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. So I'm just going to show you another way that you can do that. So what you could do if you wanted to is a longer way around, but if you're unsure of understanding the place value way, then you can do it this way. You can do 800 add 6, which will be 608, 806. And then you can do a takeaway, and you can do 826 take away 806. And 6 take away 6 is 0, and 2 take away 0 is 2, and 8 take away 8 is 0, so therefore it would be 20. So you can do either way on that. Obviously the place value way is the quickest way. So that's the way that it would be best to try. But if you get stuck on that, just try it on the other way. Okay, so pause the video there. Have a go at question 1, 2, and 3, these ones that I've put at the side. And then I'm going to go through the answers with you. Okay then, so we've got 7,000 plus 40. Okay, so I'm just going to do the working out underneath here. And I go 7,000 plus 40, and that's going to equal 7,040. Okay, and then here I've got 6583, and then I'd do the 4 there and then the 9 there. Okay, and then I go 3 add 4 is 7, 8 add 9 is 17, 1 add 5 is 6, and 6 add nothing is 6, so that's going to be 6,677. Okay, finally, I've got 687, so I can do 687. I've got the 600 there, so that's going to go there. I've got the 7 there, so that's going to go there. This is the bit that's missed out, so it has to be 80. Right, okay, so we've got something add 5 equals 341. So what we need to do here is we need to do the inverse, okay? So that means we need to do 341 take away 5, and that will give us our answer. Okay, so let's just do that. So I go 341, and I'm going to take away 5. Okay. So 1 take away 5. Now 1 can't take away 5, so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to borrow from the neighbour. So I cross out the 4 and therefore make that 3. And then I put that extra 1 in front of this one, making that 11. So 11 take away 5 is 6. 3 take away nothing is 3. And 3 take away nothing is 3. So the answer is 336. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, so now we've got some multiplication in there. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to say 41 and times that by 9. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 9. I'm going to times it by 1. So 9 times 1 is 9. And then I've got 9 times 4. Okay, let's do the 9 times tables. 9, 18, 27, 36. So 36. So the answer is 369. Okay, last one. Oh, we've got a decimal. Right, okay, let's do this. So I've got 5.87. Now, if you're one of those people like me who gets mixed up on where the columns go, on questions like this, put the dot in first. So if you put the dot in, the dot has to be on top, the dots have to be in line, okay? So to the left of the dot, I've got a 3. There we go. And to the right, I've got 1, 2, 3. Now this 3 is on its own. There's nothing above it, which is a little bit strange, isn't it? What you can do, you can just put a 0 above it. Okay, now 0 add 3 is 3. 7 add 2 is 9. 8 add 1 is 9. Put your point in. 5 add 3 is 8. So the answer is 8.993. Okay, pause the video there and have a go at these 3 questions that I've done very similar. Right, okay, so let's just do this. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. So I've got 291. I'm going to need to take away 6 from that. So 291, I'm going to take away 6. 1 take away 6 I can't do. So I cross out the 9 becomes an 8. The 1 becomes 11. 11 take away 6 is 5. And then I bring down the 8 and the 2. So the answer is 285. Okay, 7 times 87. So I'm going to do 87 at the top and 7 below. So 7 times 7 is 49. So the 9 will go here. And the 4 will go at the top. And 8 times 7. Oh, what's 8 times 7? That's 56. And then I need to add on to that 4, which will make it 60. So the answer there is 609. And finally, I've got 2.56. Right, okay, let's do this. So 2.56. I'm going to put my dot in first, and a 6, and then 638. Okay, put a 0 there to help me out. So 0 add 8 is 8. 6 add 3 is 9. 5 add 6 is 11, so 1 here and 1 up there. 1 add 2 is 3. And then 3 add 6 is 9. And make sure you put that dot in there, Steve. So the answer for that one is 9.198. Okay then, so let's see these next ones. We've got questions 7, 8 and 9 here. So 180 divided by 3. Now, you can just do a bus stop method here, can't you? So you can go 3 on the outside, draw out a little bus stop, and put in 1, 8, 0. Okay, how many times does 3 go into 1? Well, it doesn't, does it? It's too big. So 0 times, and I'm going to carry that 1. Now what I like to do, I like to cross out the ones that I've done. So now I've got 18. How many times does 3 go into 18? Okay, 3 times tables. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's 6 times. And how many times does 3 go into 0? 0 times. So the answer is 60. Okay, 120 divided by 12. Now this one's a good one because what they're doing here is they're trying to see if you can spot what's happened here. So you could do 120. You could do your 12 times tables until you get there, or you could notice that 120. If I write 120 there, it's 12 with a 0 at the end, isn't it? So therefore, if you was to do 12 times 10, that would equal 120, wouldn't it? So when something's just got a 0 there, then it's been times by 10, hasn't it? So therefore, 120 divided by 12 will equal 10. And now this is the type of one that might scare lots of people. 213 times 0. Well, anything times by 0 is 0. So you don't need to do any working out there. It's a nice, easy one. Right, 3 more for you to have a go at. Pause it there, have a go at those. Okay, let's do this then. Nice bus stop for this one. So we're going to go 4, 240. 4 goes into 2, 0 times. Put a 2, like I say, I like to cross it out. 4 goes into 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 6. And 4 goes into 0, 0, so that's 60. Okay. This I just realised that I got 60 on the other one. Okay, and 170 divided by 17, like I said before, it's just got that 0 at the end, hasn't it? Therefore, it's been times by 10. Okay, and 8,279 times by 0, anything times by 0 is 0. Right, okay, so I've got 91 divided by 7. Okay, so again, I'm just going to do a bus stop. So I go 7 into 91. How many times does 7 go into 9? It goes in 1 time with 2 left over. How many times does 7 go into 21? 7, 14, 21. That's 3 times. So the answer to that one is 13. Okay, so something equals 87 take away 65. So I'm just going to do a straightforward 87 take away 65. Okay. 7 take away 5 is 2, and 8 take away 6 is also 2. So the answer to that one is 22. I forgot to put my minus in there. Silly man. Okay. And so 602 take away something equals 900, not 900, 602 take away something equals 594. So I'm going to do 602, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take away 594. So the 4 goes there, the 9 goes there, and the 5 goes there. Okay, 2 take away 4. Oh no, I can't do that. So I've got to borrow from the neighbor. Oh no, I can't borrow from the neighbor. Okay, I'm going to borrow from the next one. So 6 is going to become a 5, and then this one's going to become a 10. Now I can borrow from this one. So this 10 is going to become a 9, and the 2 is going to become a 12. Great, now I can do it. So 12 take away 4 is 8. 9 take away 9 is 0, and 5 take away 5 is 0. Therefore, the answer to this one is 8. Okay, pause the video there. Let's have a go at these last three. Okay, bus stop method for this one. So I'm going to go 8 into 128. Okay, 8 goes into 1 0 times. Okay, 8 goes into 12 1 time with 4 left over. And 8 goes into 48 6 times. So the answer to that one is 16. Okay, 76 take away 51. So I'll go 76 take away 51. 6 take away 1 is 5. And 7 take away 5 is 2. So that's 25. Okay, final one. I'm going to flip it around. So I'm going to do 904 take away 877. So 904 take away 877. 4 take away 7, can't do. Borrow from the neighbour, can't do. Borrow from the next one. So the 9 becomes an 8. The 0 becomes a 10. So now I can do that, and that becomes a 9. And then we've got 14. Okay, 14 take away 7 is 7. 9 take away 7 is 2. And 8 take away 8 is 0. So therefore the answer there is 27. Question 13. 1,210 divided by 11. Bus stop. I just do a bus stop here, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's go. So, I'm dividing by 11. And inside the bus stop, I've got 1,210. How many times does 11 go into 1? 0 times. Cross out the 1, bring it over there. How many times does 11 go into 12? It goes in 1 time, doesn't it? With 1 left over, because 12 is 1 more than 11. Move the 1 over there. How many times does 11 go into 11? 1 time. How many times does 11 go into 0? 0. Great, so our answer is 110. Perfect. Okay, next one. So we've got 25.34 times 10. Now, when you're timesing by 10 or dividing by 10 even, you can just move the decimal one way or the other. So obviously it's timesing by 10, so it's got to get bigger. So if I do 25.34, and if I'm going to times that by 10, I need to make it bigger. So then the point is going to go over to the right hand side one place. So that will make 253, and the point is in its new place, 0.4. Now, obviously, if it was times by 100, it would go 2 places. If it was divided by 10, it would go back that way. Divided by 100, back twice. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, question 15. We've got 60 divided by, and then in brackets, I have 30 minus 24. Now, we have BIDMAS that we can use here. So if I just write this out, BIDMAS. And BIDMAS is brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So the first one is brackets. Now, that means that we've got to do everything in the brackets first. So if I do that, I can leave the 60 divided by, and now I'm just going to do the things in the bracket. So 30 take away 24. Well, 30 take away 24 will leave you with 6. Great. Now, there's no indices, but there is a division. Next one. 60 divided by 6. And 60 divided by 6 equals 10. So the answer to that one is 10. Right, there's 3 there for you to have a go at. Have a go. Pause the video, and then I'll go through the answers. Right, okay, so we've got 13, question 13, 1,430 divided by 13. So, here we go. 13, open your bus stop, 1430. 13 goes into 1 0 times, cross it out, bring over the 1. 13 goes into 14 1 time with 1 left over. 13 goes into 13 1 time, 13 goes into 0 0 times, 110. Great, okay, so like we said before, this one's going to be times by 10, so we're going to move it one place to the right. So with that in mind, let's do that. I'm going to go 36.48, one place to the right, that's where the point will be. So then it's going to be 364, silly, 0.8. And there you go, there's the answer to that one. Okay, let's use BibMaths. I've done a very, very similar question. So the first thing I'm going to do is 72 take away 64. So if I just write out 80 divided by, let's do that. 72 take away 64 will leave us with 8. And 8 divided by 8 is, again, 10. Great, let's do some more. Right, okay, so question 16 is 3 cubed. Now this is, let me just make sure that you understand what this means. We've got a 3 and then a little 3 above it. That 3 means cubed, and all that means is that you're going to do 3 times 3 times 3. So if it was, if that little 3 was a 4, for instance, it would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So basically, whatever number this is up here, that means you times the main number by itself that many times, okay? Right, okay, so let's just make some space there. Right, okay, so we've got 3 cubed, which is 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9, and then I've just got to times that by 3. And 9 times 3 equals 27. So 3 cubed is 27. Okay, so question 17 is very similar to the one that I was just doing before, where you're moving the decimal along. Now there's no decimal in 101, but you can pretend that there is, because it's 101 is 101.0, right? So you can move that along 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and add in your zeros there. Another thing you can do, when it's a whole number, you can look, if I'm timesing it by something that's 1 and then zeros after it, like 10, 100, 1,000, stuff like that, you could just count these zeros and stick them on the end. So therefore it's 101, 1, 2, 3. So 101,000. Okay, and 20% of 3,000. Now, on a question like this, find 10% first, make it easy for yourself. And to find 10%, all I've got to do is 3,000 divided by 10. Now, when I'm dividing by 10, like I said before, we're just going to move it once over there. So that's going to equal 300. Okay? So 300 equals 10%, so I can put 10% there, equals 200. And 20%, well, 20 is double 10, isn't it? So all I need to do to get from 10% to 20% is times it by 2. And 300 times by 2 is 600. Like that. Great, pause the video there and have a go at these ones and then come back for the answers. Right, okay, so 4 cubed. So let's do it. 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4, you get used to this, but 16 times 4 equals 64. And that's that one done. Okay, so now I've got 633 times 10,000. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to stick on the end. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. That will make 6,330,000. Okay, that's that one done. 40% of 8,000. Well, I can do 8,000 divided by, well, it's not a divide sign, is it? Divided by 10, and that will give me, take away a 0 there, it'll give me 800. And then to get from 10% to 40%, I'm going to need to times it by 4. So 800, and I times that by 4, and that will give me 8, 16, 24, 32. So 32, and then just stick on those zeros at the end. So 3,200. Okay, let's do some more. Okay, so question 19 is 7 minus 2.25. So what I can do here to make it easy for myself is I can go 7 0.00. That's going to help me with my columns. And I'm taking away 2.25. Great. 0 take away 5, can't do that. Neighbour, can't do that. Take away from the 7. So the 7 will drop down to a 6. And then that 0 will become a 10. Now I can borrow from there. So that becomes a 9. And then this one becomes a 10. Great. So 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 2 is 7. Put your point in. 6 take away 2 is 4. So the answer to that one is 4.75. Okay. Now, 0.9 divided by 100. So this is just like we were doing before with the types, but it's dividing, so we're moving the decimal the other way. So I'm going to go 0.9. I'm dividing by 100, and there's 2 zeros. So it's going to go 1 time, 2 times, and the point is going to go there. Now this bit here, I'm going to fill in with a 0, and then I just put a 0 before the point. So the answer is 0.009. Okay, and then I have 9 take away 1.9. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did on number 19. So I'm going to go 9.0. Take away 1.9. 0 take away 9, I can't do. So I'm going to borrow from the 9. That's going to drop down to being an 8. And then I've got 10 take away 9, which is 1. And 8 take away 1, which is 7. So the answer to that one is 7.1. Great. Have a go at the next 3. Pause the video. Come back for the answers. Okie dokie. Right, so we've got question 19 here. I've got 9 take away 3.45. So I'm just going to do it here. I'm going to go 9.00. Take away 3.45. Now, 0 take away 5, can't do it. Take from the neighbour, can't do that. 9 is going to drop to being an 8. 10, and then that's going to become a 9, and then that's going to become a 10. So 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 4 is 5. Put your point in. 8 take away 3 is also 5. Okay, so 5.55. Okay, 0.4 divided by 1,000. So I go 0.4. And 1,000, 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Put the point in, and I'm going to put 2 zeros in those missing troughs there, and that's there. So that's going to be 0.0004. Okay, that's that one done. Great, and then we've got 7. I'm going to make it 0.0, and I'm going to take away 4.3. Okay, 0 take away 3, can't do. Borrow from the neighbour, that drops down to be a 6, and this one becomes a 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. Put your point in. 6 take away 4 is 2. So the answer to that one is 2.7. Done. Okay, so question 22 is 1 and 3 over 7 take away 4 over 7. Now, what you can do here to make it easy for yourself is make this first fraction here that you have, you've got that 1 there, so we can make that, that's what we call a mixed number fraction. And you can make that an improper fraction. I'm going to show you how. So you can go 1 and 3 over 7. And what you're going to do is you're going to do 7 times 1. And then whatever the answer to that is, you're going to add that to 3. So 7 times 1 is 7. And 7 add 3 is 10. So I'm going to put 10 there. And that's over, the denominator stays the same. So that's going to stay a 7. Now it becomes a lot easier. So let's rewrite out the question. I go 10 over 7, take away 4 over 7. Now when you're adding or taking away with fractions, the denominator has to stay the same. So the 7 is going to stay the same. So 7. And then you do 10 take away 4, which is 6. So the answer to this one is 6 over 7. Great, okay, so some long multiplication now. Let's take this step by step. So I'm going to write this out a little bit bigger here, just so that I can do it on this iPad. So I've got 8, 3, 6, and that's going to be times by 27. Great. So I'll go 7 times 6. What's 7 times 6? I'm always bad at this one. It's 42. Okay, so 2 goes there, and the 4 comes up here. 7 times 3, 7, 14, 21. Add 4 is going to be 25. And the 2 goes up here. 7 times 8, another one that I'm very bad at all the time as well. That's going to be 56. Add 2 is 58. So 58 goes in there. Now, cross out your carries. Cross out your 7 because you know you've finished with it. And then put a 0 there. Okay. 2 times 6 is 12. So 2 goes there and 1 gets carried. 2 times 3 is 6. Add 1 is 7. And 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, cool. Now I just need to add these up for my final answer. 2 add 0 is 2. 5 add 2 is 7. 8 add 7 is 15. Carry that 1, put it there. 5 add 6 add 1 is 12. And 1 add 1 is 2. So the answer to this one is 22,572. Great. Pause the video there, and I'll go through the answers in a sec. Great. Okay, so question 22, I'm going to change the denominator. So I'm going to do 8 times 1, and then I'm going to add that to that 4. Okay, so 8 times 1 is 8, and then if I add that to the 4, that is going to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to get 12 over, the denominator stays the same, so 8. Take away 7 over 8. Okay, denominator stays the same. So 12, take away 7, what's that? Let's count up from 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 5. So the answer to that one is 5/8. Perfect. Great, okay, let's do this one then. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And 2 times 8 is 16. Cross that out, add a 0. 6 times 7. I've done it again, haven't I? What's 6 times 7 again? It's 42. There we go. 6 times 4 is 6, 12, 18, 24. Add 4 is 28. So 8 there, 2 there. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 is 50. So 5, 0. Okay, add these up. 4 add 0 is 4. 9 add 2 is 11. 6 add 8 is 14. Add 1 is 15. 1 add, oh, I need to put my other one in there. 1 add 0 add 1 is 2. And then drop that 5 down. So that's 52,514. Question 24. 1/5 plus 3/4. Now, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, you have to get a common denominator. And the way to do that, sometimes they just go into each other and it's lovely, but sometimes they don't. And in this case, they don't. So one thing you can always do is you can take your denominators and you can times them by each other. Okay, so if I do that, 4 times 5 is going to be 20, right? Now, whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So let's just write this out. If I've got 1/5, and I'm going to times that by 4, add 3/4, and I'm going to times that by 5. Okay, so if I was to rewrite this now, doing those things, I'm going to do 4 times 1, which is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. That's that one done. And then on this one, I'm going to times them by 5. So 5 times 3 is 15. And 5 times 4 is 20. Now you can see we have a common denominator because they're the same. Okay, so all we need to do is just add those the numerators together. So 4 add 15 is 19. And the denominator stays the same, so it's 19/20. 19/20 is the answer to that one. Now then, long division. I find long division very, 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 very hard and annoying. But here we go, let's do it. 37 goes into 8 0 times. Okay. Now 0 times 37 is 0. Okay. And then I'm going to drop this one down here. Okay. So therefore, I've got 88. Right, okay. So 37 goes into 88. How many times does 37 go into 88? Well, 37 times 2 is going to be, what's that going to be? That's going to be 37, 67, 74, isn't it? So 74. What I'm doing now is I'm just writing out the 37 times tables a bit to help me out. So that's going to be, it's going to be 74, it's going to be 2 times it goes in. So 2 times there. Now, 2 times 37 is 74. So I can put 74 in there. And then I can just do a takeaway here. 8 take away 4 is 4. And 8 take away 7 is 1. And now I need to drop down this 8. Okay, so I've got 148. Hopefully this is going to go in perfectly, but let's just try it. Oh, it is going to go in perfectly, but I'll show you why. So 3 times 37 would be basically this one added onto this one, wouldn't it? So 7 add 4 is going to be 11, isn't it? So 1 there, 1 goes on top of there. And 1 add 3 is 4. Add 7 is 11. So that's going to be 111. Okay. Now if I add 37 onto that, 7 add 1 would be 8. And 3 add 1 would be 4. And then the 1 would drop down, so it would be 148. So altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. Just something to point out. The reason why I noticed that I could see it earlier is because I saw that 74, if I double that, if I double 70, it's 140. And if I double 4, it's 8. So I knew that it was going to be there, but instead I decided just to go through the times tables with you step by step. And that's it. These ones, they just take a bit longer, and they're quite annoying to do. But yeah, the answer to that one is 24. Right. Pause the video, have a go at these next two, and I'll go through the answers for these. Okay, so I've got 2/5 plus 2/3, so I'm just going to do times that one by 3, and I'm going to times that one by 5. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 3 is 15. And I've got to add that to 5 times 2, which is 10. And 5 times 3 is 15. Now if I add these across, it's going to be 6 add 10, which is 16. And 15 would stay the same. Now we've got an improper fraction, haven't we? So 15 goes into 16 one time with 1 left over, and 15 is the denominator. So there's the answer to that one. Okay, long division. Annoying. Let's go. Okay, how many times does 36 go into 6? It goes in 0 times. 0 times 36 is 0. And 64, take away 0 is 64. So put that there. Okay, cool. So how many times does 36 go into 64? 36 times tables. Let's go. We're going to go 36. And then 36 at 36 is 72. Oh, it's only going to go in one time. Okay, and 1 times 36 is 36. I'm going to take away that from there. So 4 take away 6 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow from the neighbour. That's going to become a 5, and it's going to be 14. 14 take away 6 is 8, and 5 take away 3 is 2. So it's 28. How many times does 36 go into 28? Oh, no, because I didn't bring down. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Okay, so let's bring down that there. Okay, wow. How many times does 36 go into 288? Oh, dearie me, this is going to be annoying, isn't it? So let's just do it. So I'm going to do my 36 tables. So I've got 36 there, and then it's going to be 72. Now if I add 36 onto there, what would that be? 36, that would be 8, and this would be 10, wouldn't it? So that would be 108 next. 108. Nowhere near yet, are we? But we can see if we get to 144, then we just need to double it to get to 288, don't we? So I'm going to add on another 36 here. So 108 add 36. My working out is getting very messy now, isn't it? So 8 add 6 is 4 with 14, sorry, with 1 left over. So then you go 1 add 3 is 4, and the 100, so it's going to be 144. Now 144 is half of 288, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Double that is 8. So the answer to that one is 18. Right, okay, next slide, let's go. Okay, so question 26. Now, I can see here something that's really, really helpful. That 5 goes into 2, doesn't it? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change them into improper fractions because that's the way that I like to do it. So 5 times 1, add 1 is going to be 6. So that's going to be 6. I'm just going to write it up here actually. 6 over 5, add, and then it's 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. 21 over 10. Now, this 5, if I just double that, just times it by 2, then we're going to have a common denominator. So I go 6 times 2 is 12, I'll put it here, and 5 times 2 is 10. And then I'm just going to add that to my 21 over 10. So my denominator stays the same, 10, and I do 12 add 21, which is going to be 21, 31, 32, 33. 33. Now, 10 goes into 33 1, 2, 3 times, with 3 left over, and it's out of 10. So there you go, there's the answer to that one. Okay, now then, question 27. 35% of 320. So first off, find 10%. So 10% of 320, I'm just going to move that decimal once over there. So 10%, I can write there, 10% equals 32. So if I was just to go up from there, 20% would be double that, wouldn't it? So that would be 64. And 30% would be 64 add 32. So that would be 96. 96. So I know what 30% is, but I need 35%. Well, 5% is half of 10%, and half of 32 is 16. So if I add that to my 30%, I'm going to find 35%, aren't I? So I've put that 96 there. 6 add 6 is 12, and 1 add 1 add 9 is 11, and that is equal to 35%. So the answer to this one is 112. Right, okay. Another fraction, find the common denominator. So I'm going to times the 9 by 4 and the 4 by 9. Right, let's just do that. So this time I'm just going to get a little bit quicker at it now, okay? So 8 times 4, 8, 16, 24, 32. So 8 times 4 is 8, 16, 24, 32. So it's going to be 32 over, and 9 times 4, 9, 18, 27, 36. 36. Take away. Now, the 1's going to be times by 9, so that's going to be 9. And the 4 is going to be times by 9, so that's going to be 36. Great. So, 32 take away 9. What's 32 take away 9? That's going to be 23, isn't it? 23. And that's going to be over 36. So the answer to that one is 23 over 36. Right, okay. Pause the video. Have a go at these ones. Okay, so let's get this done. So again, we can see that this 4 goes into the 8. So all I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to need to double that one. But first, I'm going to make them into improper fractions. So I'm going to do 8 times 1 and then add 3. And 8 times 1 is 8, add 3, 9, 10, 11. So it's going to be 11 over 8. Plus, Now this one I'm just going to do over to this side so that I can get it in there later. So I'm going to go 4 times 1 is 4, add 3, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be 7 over 4. But I want to times that one by 2, don't I? So 7 times 2 is 14. I'll put it over here now. And 4 times 2 is 8. And as you can see, we've got the common denominator now. So 11 add 14 is 25. So 25. And that's over 8. So we just need to put that into a mixed number fraction again. 8 goes into 25. Let's see, 8, 16, 24. So it's going to be 3 times with 1 left over. And 8 is our denominator. Perfect, done. Okay, 45% of 48. Right, okay, so I can divide that by 10 to find 10%. So I can say 10% equals 48. And double that, I'll find 20%. And 20% equals, what's double 48? That's going to be 96. And then if I double that, then I've got 40%. Now you might find that quite difficult to do, so let's just do that to the side. 96 times 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. And 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 192. 192. Half of 10% is 5%. So I can go 5% equals half of that, and half of 48 is going to be 24, and then I just add that to my 40%, which is 192, and if I add this up, I've got 4 add 2 is 6, and 2 add 9 is 11, and 1 add 1 is 2, and that gives me 45%, which is 216. Okay, final one. We're going to times this one by 3. We're going to times this one by 7. Let's go. So 3 times 6 is 18, and 3 times 7 is 21. Take away 2 times 7 is 14, and 3 times 7 is 21. Common denominator, fantastic. So we're going to go 18, take away 14 is 4, and that's out of 21. That can't be simplified any further, so that's the answer to that one. Okay, next slide, let's go. Okay, so 51% of 900. Really easy question this actually, isn't it? Because if you think about it, half of 900 is 50%. 50% is a half, isn't it? So what is half of 900? Well, half of 900 is 450. And now we just need to find out what 1% is. So half is, let me just put that there, that is equal to 50%. 1%, well, to find 1%, I just need to divide it by 100. And to divide it by 100, I move it 2 places, which is going to give me 9. So 9 equals 1%. So 51% would equal 450 add 9, which is going to be 9, 5, 4. So it's going to be 459. Great. Okay. Long multiplication. They go on for quite a while, these, don't they? Right. Okay. So I'm going to write this out a little bit bigger so it's a bit easier for me to do. 62. Right. Okay. Let's do this. So 2 times 8. So I'm starting with the 2. So 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 6 is 12. Add 1 is 13. 2 times 4 is 8, add 1 is 9, and 2 times 3 is 6. Perfect. Cross that out, cross that out, cross out your 2, stick in a 0. 6 times 8 is 48, so 8 there, 4 at the top. 6 times 6 is 36, add 4 is 40, so 0 there and a 4 there. 6 times 4, what's that? That's 24. Add 4 is 28, so 8 goes there and 2 goes there. And 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20. So 20 goes there. Now I need to add these up. When I add these up, I'm going to stick them straight into the box, okay? So 6 add 0 is 6. And 3 add 8 is 11. I'm just going to stick that 1 there to remind me. And 9 add 0 add 1 is 10, so that's going to be 0 there, and 1 left over here. And then 6 add 8 is 14, plus 1 is 15, so 5. Oh, pen's not working very well. So 5 would go there, and 1 would carry over. 1 add nothing is 1, and then they just drop that 2 down. So therefore, the answer to that one is a big old answer, and it's 215,016. Right, pause the video. Have a go at the next two. Okay, let's do this. So we've got 26% of 800. Well, 25% is a quarter, isn't it? So I just need to be able to divide it by 4. Or just halve it and halve it again. Well, half of 800 is 400. And then halve it again. Half of 400 is 200. So I can say that 25% equals 200. And then I need to find that 1%. 1% once twice over is 8. And 26%, I just add these together, so it's going to be 208. Perfect. Okay, next one, let's do it quickly. So let's just try and do these. When you're doing your long multiplications, just do practices and just do it again and again as quickly as you can. And then you'll start getting the hang of it. Okay, so 2 times 8 is 16, so 6 there, 1 there. 2 times 7 is 14, which is going to be, add 1 is 5, it's 15, sorry, and carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, add 1 is 13. Okay, 2 times 5 is 10, add 1 is 11. Cross it out, cross it out, cross it out, cross that out, 0. 9 times 8, what? 72. 2 there, 7 there. 9 times 7 is 63, add 7 is 70, so 0 there, and a 7 goes up here. 9 times 6 is 54, add 7 is going to be 61, so 1 there, and a 6 up there. And 9 times 5 is 45, plus 6 is 51, so 51. Okay, add all this up. 6 add 0 is 6, 2 add 5 is 7, 3 add 0 is 3, 1 add 1 is 2, 1 add 1 is 2, and 5 left over. So the answer is 522,376. So I've got 2 over 3 divided by 3. Now, this is what you need to do when you're doing a division. First off, you've got the 3, which is a whole number. Now you can make that into a fraction. So if I was just to write this out, I would go 2 over 3 divided by 3 over 1. So any whole number that you get, if you put it over 1, then that's made it into a fraction. Now, when you are dividing fractions, all you need to do, you just need to flip the 1 on the right hand side, and then you're going to change this into a time. So let's just do that. I've got 2 over 3, and that's going to be times now, and that's going to be 1 over 3. Great, now we just need to times the fractions. Now when you're timesing fractions, I mean, we've got a common denominator here, but you don't actually need a common denominator. You just need to times the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. So 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 3 is 9. That's not a 9. Now it's a 9. So the answer is 2 over 9. Great, okay. Question 32, we've got another takeaway of a fraction. Right, okay, and you can see here that the 2 goes into 4. So I'm just going to do the usual thing that I've done all the way through this. I'm going to do 2 times 2, which is 4, add 1 is 5. So that's going to be 5 over 2 minus 3 over 4. Now I'm just going to times this one by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 times 2 is 4, minus 3 over 4. Great, we've got a common denominator now. So the denominator is 4, and 10 take away 3 is 7. So that's 7 over 4. Now I just need to put it back into a mixed number fraction. 4 goes into 7 one time with 3 left over, and it's out of 4. So that's my answer, 1 3/4. Right, pause the video there, have a go at these last ones, and then we'll go through them. Right, okay, so I've got 3/4 divided by 6. So let's just quickly write that out. So we've got 3 over 4 divided by 6 over 1. I'm going to flip this one over. I'm going to change that one into a times. So that's going to be 3 over 4 times 1 over 6. 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 6 is 24. Now this one can be simplified, can't it? Because we can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 24 divided by 3 is 8. So that's the final answer there, 1 over 8. And finally, we've got this last one. So I'm just going to do the same thing again. 5 times 3, so 5, 10, 15, plus 1 is 16. So it's going to be 16 over 5. And then I've got take away 8 over 9, which is just going to stay the same for now. Okay. Now, they don't have something that one can go into the other one. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to times them by each other. This is going to get big, this one, isn't it? That's going to get times by 9. That's one's going to get times by 5. Great. 16 times by 9. Now, I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm just going to do it to the side here. So 9 times 6 is 54. So 4 there, 5 there. 9 times 1 is 9. Add 5 is 14. 144. So let's just write this here. That's going to be 144 over 9 times 5 is 45. Take away 8 times 5 is 40, and that's going to be 45 again. Great. So 40 is my denominator. 144 take away 40 is going to give me 104. That can be simplified. So that's going to, if I divide them both by 2, then that's going to be, I'm just going to do it. Let's go up here. Okay, so that's going to be half of 104 is going to be 52. Half of 40 is 20, and that can be simplified, can't it? So I can go 52, half of that is going to be 26, and half of 26 is going to be 10, which can also be simplified. Wow. Okay, half of 26 is 13, and half of 10 is 5. Now I just need to change it into a mixed number fraction. 13 divided by 5 goes 2 times, 3 left over out of 5. And let me just make that really clear for you. This one here is the final answer. I've got 36% of 450. Now there are different ways about going about this. You can divide it all by 100, so you can do 450 divided by 100 and then times that by 36. Or you can do it by finding 10% and 5%. I'm going to go for the 10% rule for this one because I think it's the cleanest way of doing it. Okay, so if I find 10% of 450, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to go across there, and then it's going to be 45, isn't it? Great. So I can say 10% equals 45. All right, now just start thinking about, what else I can find out from there. Well, I can say that 20% is going to be 2 times 45, so it's going to be 90. And 30% is going to be 10%, add 20%, so that is going to be 135. Right, cool, I've got 30%. Now I need to find 6%. Okay, so one thing I can do, I can find 1% for a start. So I can say that 1%, all I need to do is divide it by 100. So that's the point's going to go there. So it's going to be that's going to equal 4.5. And 5%, well, 5% is half of 45, isn't it? And half of 45 is, what is that? That's going to be 22.5. So that's going to equal 22.5. Now, I'm just going to change colour to show you this. I've got 30, I've got 5, and I've got 1. If I add all those up together, I've got 36%. So I can say that 135 add 22.5 add 4.5. Okay, and that's going to give me 36%. Okay. So let's just do that. So 5 add 5 is 10. So that's going to become a 0. Keep my point in there, and I'm going to carry that 1. So 1 add 5 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be 2. And 1 up there. I forgot to put a line in there. I'm just going to do it really slowly because I've run out of room. Okay, so 1 add 3 is 4, add 2 is 6. And then your 1 is there. So I've got 36% is 162. Great. Okay. So yeah, with that question, if you find the separate things, you can just add them together. Another way you could have done that, actually, I'm just going to show you the other way. So another way that I could have done that is I could have started off by dividing it by 100 to find that that's going to be 4.5, isn't it? So I'm just going to quickly do this here. I could have gone, okay then, 4.5, and I could have times that by 36 because that's the percent I'm looking for. And then I go 6 times 5 is 30, 3 up there. 6 times 4 is, I always get this one, 24, 25, 26, 27. So 27, cross that out, add a 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12, add 1 is 13. 1, 3. And then, 0 add 0 is 0. 5 add 7 is 2, well, 12. 1 add 2 add 3 is 6, and then drop down your 1, and then there's just one number behind a decimal, so I'm going to go once across, and that would be 162. So I could do it that way. Do it whichever way you find easiest. Yeah, you'll have some teachers will tell you that the first way that I showed you was better, and other teachers will tell you that the second way that I showed you was better. Neither of them are better. It just depends on what's better for you, really. Right, okay, anyway, let's go on to question 34. So I've got 1 3/4 times 10. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change that into an improper fraction. So I'm going to do 4 times 1, add 3. So 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be 7 over 4. Times by. Now, as I said in the previous video, if I do 10 as a fraction, that's going to be 10 over 1. Great. Now all I need to do is just times these together. So 7 times 10 is going to give me 70, and 4 times 1 is going to give me 4. Now then, how many times does 4 go into 70? Let's just work this out. So I'm just going to do this as a bus stop down here, and 70 there and 4 there. 4 goes into 7 one time with 3 left over, and 4 goes into 30, what's that going to be, 7 times, and there's going to be 2 left over. So now I just need to put a point there and a point there, add an extra 0. I had 2 left over, so I'll put that in front of that. How many times does 4 go into 20? It goes in 5 times. So the answer is 17.5. Great, okay, so pause the video, have a go at these next ones, and then come back for the answer. Okay, so 27% of 340. I'm going to do it the second way that I did it this time, just to mix things up a little bit. So 2 times over 3.4. So I'm going to say 3.4. You know what, I'm just going to move this. In fact, I'm just going to not talk it through. So if I go 3.4, I'm going to times that by 27. Okay, 7 times 4 is 28. So 8 goes there, 2 goes there. 7 times 3 is 21, 22, 23. So it's going to be 23. Cross that out, add a 0. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, add these up. 8 add 0 is 8. 3 add 8 is 8. 9, 10, 11. And 1 add 2 is 3. Add 6 is 9. There is one number behind the decimal there, so I'm going to go once across, and the answer is 91.8. And there you go, there's that answer there. Right, okay. So again, I'm going to make this into a mixed number fraction. I'm going to make the 8 a fraction. So 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be 8 over 3. And I'm going to times that by 8 over 1. 8 times 8 is 64. And 3 times 1 is 3. How many times does 3 go into 64? Let's do a little bus stop. 64. Might end up with a long remainder here. Let's see what happens. So 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 3 goes into 4 1 time with 1 left over. So put a point there, and a point there, there, flat 1. And 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. Now what you can see here is that I'm always going to have 1 left over. It goes into 10. It goes into 10 3 times, and then again there will be another 1 left over, and it will go 3, and another 1 left over, 3. So what we can say there, the answer there is, you can say there is 21.3. If you put a dot against it, that means that the 3 goes on forever. What you can also do is you could also say 21 and a third. Either of those would work. Right, okay, let's do the other slide. Okay, so this is the last slide of the day. So I've got 5 over 6 times by 540. Now all I need to do is divide by the bottom times by the top. So let's do that. 6 goes into 540. Let's see. 6 goes into 5 0 times. It goes into 54. It's 9 times, isn't it? 9. And it goes into 0 times. So 90. Now all I need to do is 90 times 5. So I can do this in many different ways. I'll just do it like a normal column one. So 5 times 0 is 0, and 5 times 9 is 45. So the answer to that one is 45. Wow, I've just had a look at 36. That's going to be horrible. Right, okay, let's do this. So 83 goes into 8 0 times, and 0 times 83 is 0. And 8 take away 0 is 8, and then we bring down the 0, and that's going to be 80. And 83 goes into 80 0 times, and 0 times 83 is 0. And then 80 take away 0 is going to be 80. And then we bring down the 5, and then we've got 805. This is horrific, 805. Now then, what I could do my 83 times tables and just work it out. I'd do 83, add 83, and then add another 83, and then add another 83, and then and that would be long. But what I can see is that it's 805. Now I know that 830 will be 10 times 83, because if you times something by 10, you just stick a 0 on the end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and take a little bit of a shortcut here and see if it will help me. It might not help me, because then later on I might get something more tricky. So I'm just gonna, let's just do it here and see if I can get that to help me. So if I was to do 830 and then I take away 83, that will get me 9 times, which I think it should be less than 805. So 0 take away 3 I can't do. Borrow from the neighbour, 2, 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. 2 take away 8 can't do. Borrow from the neighbour, and then that's going to be 12. 12 take away 8 is, what's 12 take away 8 is 4. And then you drop down your 7. So what I know is that it's going to go in 9 times, because 9 times 83 is 747. So I can say this is going to be 9. Okay, cool. 9 times 83 is, as we just found out, 747. So I can say 747. And let's take that away. 5 take away 7 can't do. I'm just going to borrow from this 8. That's going to become a 7. This is going to get a bit messy, isn't it? And a 10, and then that's going to become a 9, and then that's going to become 15. Okay, so 15 take away 7 is 8. And 9 take away 4 is 5. And 7 take away 7 is 0. So it's 58. Bring down the 1. No, it's not helping me at all. I've got to get all the way up to 581. Okay, let's think about this. Well, No, I don't know. I'm just going to do my 83 times tables. Okay, so 83 times 1 is going to be 83. Now I'm going to try and do this at speed. Obviously, all you need to do on your paper, just add them on each time. It's, that's a way that you're going to get it. So 83 add 83 that's going to be 166. Add 83 onto that, that will become a 9, and that's going to become a 4 and a 2, 249. And that's going to be 332, so 332. That's going to be a 5, and then that's going to go to a 1, and then that's going to be 4, so 415. Like 581 is what I'm trying to get to, okay. 115, so that's going to be a 3, so that's going to be that, and then 9, and then 498, and it's going to be this one, isn't it? Yep, so yeah, that's 1, yep, and then 8, and 5. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times. So that's going to be 97. Now that's obviously the last question of the test, so it's supposed to be one that takes a long time to see how you tackle it and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Anyway, pause the video, have a go at these two, and then come back for the answers. Okay, great. So I've got 455. I'm going to divide that by 7. So I'm going to go 7, 4, 5, 5. Okay, 7 goes into 4, 0 times 4 left over. 4 goes into 7 goes into 45. That's going to be 6 times, isn't it? 6 times is 42. 6, 42, 43, 44, 45. That's going to be 3 left over. And 6 goes into 35. 7 goes into 35. Sorry, goes in 5 times. Okay, so now I'm going to do 65. That's not a 5. Steve, come on, what is wrong with you today? Okay, 65 times by 4. 4 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26. 260 is the answer to that one. Okay, now I'm just going to make myself some room here because this is going to be horrible. Okay, let's go. So 64 goes into 7, 0 times 64 is 0. Okay, and 78 take away 0, 7 take away 0 is 7. Bring down that 8. 78. 64 goes into 78 one time. And 1 times 64 is 64. And 78 take away 64. 8 take away 4 is 4. 7 take away 6 is 1. Bring down the 7. Okay, not great, but not too bad, is it? 147. Okay, let's just try this one then. So I'm going to do 64. 64 times 2 is going to be 128. So it's going to go in 2 times, isn't it? So I can see, because if I do, I'll just do the next one actually. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that's going to be there. With 1 left over there, and 6, 7, 8, 9. So 192 is going to be 3 times 64. So I know it's going to go in 2 times. So I can put my 2 there. And 2 times 64, as I've just worked out, is 128. That's what that 7 take. No, I can't do that. It's going to be a 3. 7, 17 take away 8 is, what's that, 9, isn't it? And 3 take away 2 is 1. And 1 take away 1 is 0. It's 19. Bring down that 2. 190. Ah, perfect. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. 3 times. Great. Okay. I hope that's been helpful. So I'm going to start on paper 2 tomorrow, or as soon as I can to get it out. Please do comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Yeah, let me know how I can help you further. Okay, hope that helps. Bye.